I'm going to show you today how to make two recipes. One is carrot hummus and the other one is chocolate bark. I always have carrots in the house, and I always have a can of garbanzo beans or chickpeas ready to go. So this is a nice little recipe to serve as a side dish or as an appetizer, and it's just an all-around good thing to have. It's another way of having hummus without using tahini paste. But anyway, we'll walk through the recipe together and I'll explain it to you. So what I've done here is I've peeled and cut carrots. It says to cut them into 1-inch pieces. Not all of them are the same size because carrots are not all the same size, or at least the ones I have. So I've cut them up. I've also cut this recipe in half because it's just my husband and I. And I'm not going to make the whole recipe. Anyway, so I've cut up here the carrots, which I'm going to put in this bowl. And I used 3 cloves of garlic. I use the peeled garlic. If you have fresh, that's even better. And I washed and drained the garbanzo beans, which I'm going to use half for. I'm going to take let's see, I think it's a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and sprinkle it on on top. And I'm going to take, in this case, I'm going to take a tablespoon of olive oil and just mix it up. Oh my goodness. I have a pan all ready to go. It's lined with aluminum foil. I've preheated the oven to 425. And this is ready to go as is in the oven. Just cover it with foil. And put it in here for about 15 minutes. I say about 15 minutes because in my oven, it doesn't work that way. In my oven, it takes a lot longer than 15 minutes. I do it in 5 or 7 minute intervals to check the doneness, and it has to be soft to the touch. So I already have some prepared. These are already done. It should look something like this, and it should be fork tender, which is like this, and and it's ready to go into the food processor, or in this case, the mini chopper. Okay. So I have the mini chopper, and I have the chickpeas already in here, and I'm going to add the carrots to it. And here I go. It's going to be a little noisy right now, and I'm excuse me, I'm using the mini chopper because I'm only doing half the recipe. So let's see where we are in this. Okay, it's not quite ready yet, but as you can see, it breaks up pretty quickly. Now I'm going to take some fresh lemon juice. If you have the one that comes in the container, that's fine. But if you can use fresh lemon juice, there's really nothing like it. I'm going to squeeze this in. And add a little salt to it and some olive oil. I'll put this on again. ready yet. So you're looking for a consistency that's sort of like a paste. You may have to add a little more olive oil and possibly a little more lemon juice to it. And I recommend tasting it as you go, because you can always season it as you go, because that way it'll be exactly what you want. So I'm going to turn this on again. And okay, I think this is ready to go. Let me taste it. Delicious, and I hope you enjoy it. You can serve it with fresh vegetables and crackers, and we'll be on to the next recipe in just a moment. Hi, welcome back, and now we're going on to making easy chocolate bark. Chocolate bark is a slab of chocolate filled with all kinds of goodies in it. In this case, I'm using raisins and toasted coconut and toasted almonds. The first thing I did before I even started was I toasted the almonds and I toasted the coconut. When you're toasting almonds or nuts, just make sure that you test them frequently to see that they're done, because they go very quickly from being not done to being overdone. And the same thing is true with coconut. But just use what you have in the house. Anything is good. You can throw in candy. You can throw in trail mix. You can throw in pretzels, white chocolate, anything you want. Pretty much goes into this. And what I'm going to do is I've taken the chocolate and I have a mixture here of dark and semi-sweet chocolate, and I have a little coconut oil in there because I find that the coconut oil makes the chocolate a little shining, which I like very much. So I'm going to put this in the microwave, and I'm going to cook it for, I'm going to turn it on for about 30 seconds at 50% power, and we'll take a look at that in just a second. While we're waiting, like I said, when you're making something like that, I've taken the nuts, the almonds, and I've chopped them up. And like I said, you can pretty much put anything that you really like. You can take candy bars, crush them up or chop them up, and throw them on top of this. So what we're doing is melting the chocolate, which is our base for this. I'm going to test it and see if it's ready. It's getting ready, but it's not quite there yet. So I'm going to put it back for another 30 seconds at 50% power. The coconut oil has melted, but it's not quite ready. You need it to be soft and not completely, completely melted, but almost there, because the one thing you don't want is for your chocolate to overcook and then it seizes up and it's no good. So anyway, you know, we're trying to make use of the things we have in the house here, and just make some treats and some snacks that are just good and fun while we're staying home. Okay, this looks like it's ready. Let me show you. And I'm just going to keep mixing it until it's all smooth. And it's ready to go now. So I've lined the cookie sheet, and I'm not doing again a full recipe because it's just my husband and I. And I'm just going to pour it on. Get all that chocolate in there. Okay. I'm going to take my one of my favorite tools, which is the offset spatula. This one's a mini offset spatula, and I'm just going to smooth it out and spread it out. And parchment paper is which is a cook's best friend. It's easy for cleanup, and it just really makes everything come off the pan very, very quickly. Take my knife here and just take off some of the chocolate so we don't lose anything. And now I'll take some of the toppings and put them on. We'll start with the nuts, with the almonds. Like I said, I've toasted them, and toasting almonds or nuts really, really brings out the flavor in them. So it's worth the effort, but you do have to really, really watch them carefully because they do go from undercooked to overcooked in just a matter of minutes. And I have some toasted coconut. You can make it, you don't have to toast it. I did because I prefer it that way. Just take that and put that on. And just take a few raisins. You can use craisins, cranberries, cherries, whatever you want, apricots. And then you put it in the fridge to set up. I have one all ready to go. And as I said before, parchment paper is the baker's friend. This is all done. And I'm going to get the plate to serve it on. Here we go. And you just break it up. And it's ready to serve. It takes about, I would say, if you really want to do it the right way, you should leave it in the refrigerator for about an hour. But I bet it would be ready in about 15-20 minutes. So, nice little snack. And we have our carrot hummus. Stop it. In closing here, there's some tips I really neglected to give you before, but I just want to go back. In terms of the carrots, when you're cooking them in the oven, and it seems to be taking forever till they get soft, what I end up doing usually, as they start to turn brown, I take them out, I put them in a microwavable bowl, and I put them in the microwave for maybe like 30 seconds, and that softens them up really quickly. Then I let it cool, and then I prepare the hummus as is. as far as the chocolate bark is concerned, I have the toasted coconut and the toasted almonds. I put in a 350-degree oven for about 5 minutes. I check everything at 5 minutes. As soon as I smell it, I check it out, because everything goes, including the coconut, from undercooked to overcooked. And that's pretty much everything. So I hope you'll join me again, and thank you very much. Stay safe. Bye.